Whispered lies have started wars, ended dynasties, and rewritten history. But here's the twist: it was never really about truth, it was about trust. From royal courts to taverns, from handwritten letters to hashtags, gossip has always been the most powerful form of communication humanity's ever invented. If you love weird psychology facts, spooky folklore, and the occasional conspiracy theory, then you're my people. If this is your first time with us, welcome. I'm so very glad that you're here. I'm Naomi, equal parts psychology nerd and professional overthinker, and I'm the voice behind Curio Cabinet. Now, my Curios, let's open the cabinet. Let's start with one of the most famous quotes in history, one that was actually never said. Let them eat cake. You've heard it, right? The moment when Queen Marie Antoinette supposedly mocked starving peasants during the French Revolution. Except she didn't say it. There's no record, no letter, no witness. The phrase existed years before she was even queen. So, how did this one liner become her legacy? Well, because it fit the story people wanted to believe. You see, during that time, France was boiling. There was famine, debt, inequality. The public was angry and hungry and desperate. And psychologically, when emotions run high, the brain craves symbols to make sense of the chaos. Rumors, especially ones that confirm our outrage, spread fast because they soothe uncertainty. They tell us who to blame. The phenomenon where information, whether true or false, spreads faster because it reinforces shared group emotions. This is known in psychology as social contagion or emotional contagion. Marie Antoinette became a lightning rod. Her rumored extravagance mirrored the nation's resentment. So when someone whispered, she said, let them eat cake, the crowd didn't fact check. I don't even think that was a thing. They nodded because it felt true. The rumor became reality, not because it was believed, but because it was useful. And in the court of public opinion, that's all it ever takes. Now, let's rewind 2 centuries to another queen whose story was shaped and shattered by gossip: Anne Boleyn, second wife of Henry VIII, brilliant, ambitious, magnetic, but to her enemies, dangerous. After she failed to produce a male heir, whispers began. Whispers that she bewitched the king, that she had 6 fingers, that she seduced men to get her way. It wasn't truth, it was politics. Anne's intelligence and assertiveness didn't fit the 1500s version of femininity, so people invented stories that made sense of their discomfort. She wasn't powerful, she was possessed. And this is where psychology gets dark. Rumor serves a purpose. It simplifies moral complexity. So, by turning Anne into the villain, her execution can then be justified. That's cognitive dissonance. Sorry. When our actions conflict with our morals, we twist the story until it feels right. In Anne's case, an entire court chose rumor over guilt. So, she was beheaded not just by the king, but by the collective belief. And once the story took hold, she stopped being a woman. She became a warning. So, what's really happening when rumors rule history? At its core, gossip is just another form of social currency. We trade information the same way we trade favors: to connect, to control, to survive. Secrets, they're a status symbol. To have one means you have power. The act of sharing it, that's moral theater. We whisper to test the loyalty, to signal belonging. In social courts or group chats, the psychology is identical. Humans are wired to seek connection through shared judgment. And as we discussed last week, when we gossip, we're reinforcing social rules, deciding together what's acceptable and what's unforgivable. But here's the catch: gossip is neutral. It's neither good nor evil, it's a mirror. What it reflects depends entirely on the intent. Are we sharing to connect or are we sharing to control? When you look at history, the pattern repeats. The Salem witch trials, a moral panic born from rumor and fear of the unknown. The Red Scares, whisper networks tuned political paranoia into purges. Hollywood's blacklist, careers completely destroyed by suspicion. Different centuries, same psychology. Because the truth is, rumor feels safer than uncertainty. Believing something, even if it's false, gives us order in this chaotic world. We like to think we've evolved past that, but in actuality, we haven't. Every trending scandal, every viral headline, it's just the modern version of a medieval whisper. Only now the court is digital and the crowd never sleeps. So the next time you see a scandal trending, remember, history's favorite hobby has always been talking about people. Gossip didn't just shape reputations, it shaped revolutions, religions, and entire empires. Because secrets aren't just stories, they're survival. And the need to belong, that's as old as humanity itself. Because secrets just aren't stories, they're survival. And that need to belong, that's as old as humanity itself. If you want to dive deeper into the psychology behind this, check out the full blog on Substack. Just search Curio Cabinet CC. If you liked today's episode, be sure to like this episode down below, hit the subscribe button, because next week we're trading royal secrets for midnight superstitions in the midnight whistle of why folklore warns us at night. Until next time, stay curious, my curios.